And your cap gives you a different look. Doctor.
What?
I said your cap gives you a different look.
Oh, really?
It does.
Interesting.
Well done. And well, since you say we can have a few minutes, thank God with me, I'm making progress on the SFW. Finished, but I want to thank God today I
Since
completed
what?
module 1. Since I should have finished, but like I told you, I until I listened to you one more time, I hardly did anything there. But today I finished module 1, and I believe, and that meant I did 3 lessons in a day, struggling to look for time for it. So by God's grace, I will move to module 2, and by God's grace, maybe I'll be able to start the GOP on the 1st of July with everybody. Because I was thinking I should postpone it, but maybe because of that major program I told you that we are hosting, and I was trying to be a bit careful not to do too many things. But as we are seeing, we'll see how God will help me. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. So we are now 11 on the team, so I will officially start the topic of today because I want to leave room at the end for people to ask us questions. Now, welcome, and we're going to go live on Instagram properly. Okay, now we are live. Good evening. Okay, still rolling. Okay, here we are live. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Aderinsola Adio Adepoju, and tonight we'll be talking about how you break free of career stagnation. And one of the, let me first start with the background, the fact that a lot of people that are on our programs at the Escape for Work Academy are people that are actually, working. They are in one profession or the other. But here is what we have realized. A lot of people then come and say, I want to move from point A to point B. How do I move from point A to point B? Because I feel like I've been here for too long and I don't even know what to do. Like, I feel like I am stuck in my current position, in my current job, in my current company, and I'm not certain. In fact, I even have some come and they say, oh, I just want to stop working first, maybe so I can think. Bad move. Okay. So that is part of what we'll be discussing tonight. So if you have a friend who is going to in this session, I'll be talking about practical steps on how you can get unstuck if you feel like you are currently stuck in a profession, in a company, or in an industry, or basically you just feel like something is not just, you are like, you will know, like, I'm just stuck here, I'm stuck here. But the only thing that is just helping you keep body and soul together is maybe because income and everything like that. So if you're that person, this particular session is for you. So first, let's talk about the possible things that can help you, that can lead you to stagnation. The very first one I always say is, especially for experienced professionals, believing my work will speak for me. As that thing is so old, and why I say it's so old is, there was a time in life that, let me say, there were no things like, let me say, showcase platforms that you can showcase your work and let you first speak for your work so that your work can then speak for you in your absence, right? So that's one of the things I've seen, especially for people that are at the middle to senior level of their career. The first reason for stagnation I've seen in today's world is because of mindset issue. And what is that mindset issue? When somebody believes that my work will speak for me. I cannot overemphasize this because we are now in a world where everybody is showing. Everybody is showing. So you realize that it is the person that is showing the best that is being awarded. It is not the person that is doing the best. So whenever you feel like, and I've seen quite a number of people say, that my junior colleague, I mentored him, I did this and that. I said, but are you showing the way your junior colleague is showing up? If you are not, you have no right to complain, because if I was looking for a speaker to get to my event and everything, like, I would not come to the corner of your bedroom to come and find you. I would need to go to a platform where I feel like everybody who has that kind of experience should showcase it. So that it gives me a pool, like a marketplace to pull from. So if you are that person that you're saying, I'm just this thing, they sent that colleague when they were going to select someone for training in my organization, they picked that guy. When they were going to do this thing, it's because it's this, it's because it's that. I was like, hello. The first thing you should ask yourself is, what is that person doing that you're not doing? Most likely, it is showing. In fact, and there are two different extremes of people in the workspace right now. People that are showing and they lack substance, as in I see that a lot amongst the younger generation. Like if you go to their LinkedIn, the packaging is so wild. You let them get on the job, let them come and start doing the job. You'll be seeing all the nonsense that they are doing, right? Because they've overpackaged, and by the time you start to, when you don't have substance, start to dig deep, you realize that it's just fluff, right? So that's one group of people. That's not the group of people I'm addressing. I'm talking about the ones that they have the experience, they have the value to offer, but they are used to, or they are stuck in that way of, my work will speak for me. So if you're that person, I've talked about the problem. What is the solution to prevent yourself from that stagnancy and being overlooked and letting someone that you mentored, tutored, be the person that is getting all the perks and all those things while you are stagnant there? If you're that person, the first thing you want to do is to find... I don't know, I can hear myself back. Okay, the first thing you want to do is to evaluate what you have done in the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever years. I need you to take an evaluation sheet. It is part of what I teach you on the GOP program. And why I say I need to take an evaluation sheet, we need to first understand what experience, what is the level of your experience? Because whenever people say they are stuck, I will say, let's evaluate what you have. The next thing we always do is when we evaluate what you have, then we ask certain questions like, this particular thing that you have, what emerging job title? What emerging job title or what emerging career path that is of high relevance in today's world and in the next decade? That's the next thing I would say. What do you have in terms of experience, this thing and all that? There's a whole lot of steps we tackle on the GOP that helps you harness what you have. We call it, profile building. But I'm saying that is the first step. What do you have? The next step is then, what do you have? And in what career path does it match for now and in the future? Realize that I did not say what career title did you bring from what you had. I do not care. And I will give you an example. Like there was a client I was working with at the time who was the AGM of a bank, and I looked at their resume, their everything. What they had was banking experience and all. So when I asked that person, what are you? They would say, I'm a banker. I said, you are not a banker. Do you understand? I said, what did you used to do in the bank as a way of experience? What did you contribute? And we looked at it and realized that it was a lot about product innovation in the last decade of our career. Now, when we realized that it was about product innovation, so that was what she had. This with me. Esther or Moina, please control the comment section. I can't be, I can't be, maybe I just mute all so that I don't get distracted. Okay, great. So we then looked at, okay, now when we have understood what you have, this thing that you have, that we realize that it is all about product innovation and all that stuff, let's go and take it to LinkedIn and figure out what emerging job titles, careers, industries will this thing that you have be relevant? Where is it relevant? When we know where it is relevant in the world of today, so that they should be chasing with product innovation stuff, you are busy branding yourself on LinkedIn as banker, saying, we now write 16 years of banking. That is not a title. Like, as in, I don't know if you get me. Like, banking is not the value you brought to your organization. Banking is an industry. So I keep repeating, what do you have? I know it's difficult for quite a number of people. That is part of what we teach profile building on GOB, like when in analyzing what you bring to the table. Now, once you are done doing that, extracting, merging it with what is emerging in the industry, then the third step for this category of people where we say, then when you have found what is right for you, like in terms of what I have, it will match this emerging job title, the text which I'll say, build a profile that is optimized for that next thing, meaning that is optimized for the title that is emerging. Look, I did not say you are changing job title. I'm just saying that because a lot has changed since you started your job and you're saying, I'm stuck. Why? Because your entire focus is still on, I'll use this banker example. Your entire focus is still on, I am a banker. The moment your focus shifts, you will start to see the space that you could work in or that you could function in outside the bank. You start to think beyond bank. You start to think to yourself as I have experience in the finance sector. That is how you then think about it. You don't think about it as I am a banker anymore. So that shift first helps you to get unstuck because you then realize that, see, my work cannot speak for me anymore. I need to build this profile that is going to speak for me. And it is not only that bank or that banking sector that I can function. Those category of people, it starts first in your mind. When you realize that, oh, wow, this experience, I can transfer it to another industry that is hot cake and rebrand it. Same experience, different rebranding. We rebrand it to then become hot cake in whatever industry that we can then migrate to. That's the first category. Now, the second category of people that I've seen that are stuck in their career, profession, whatever industry, are the people that have not evolved in terms of workplace skills. I kid you not. I see quite a number of people that, beyond money, they have crappy treatment in their place of work. Like they are just stuck because the fear of, if I leave this place, I know I am so backward that no other organization will take me. That is the second category of people. And it happens a lot to a lot of ministry workers. They are working with governments, ministry, and all that. I've seen it over and over. They're like, we know as them, you are earning 80K in ministry. Even startup will not pay you 80K. Do you understand? As in, you have that term or that terminology. Better take government work. It is safe. I said safe. Safe is where dreams die. But many people stay stuck in that circle of that job is safe. It is because they want to play it safe. They know that what they currently have, another sector that is profit-driven may not tolerate it. So they stay safe in the place that you upskill or you don't upskill. They know they sack you. Do you understand? And this category of people, I really feel sorry for them when I meet them because, again, in their case, again, it is also a mindset thing. Because I say, what if you know that you are currently in a position in your career, in your industry, that why you are there is because, in quotes, it is safe. I always say there is absolutely nothing wrong with working in government, but I want you to be certain that it is not safety of job that is keeping you there. I remember when I decided to pivot and say, no, I'm moving out of the academic sector and this thing. Do you know the kind of, I want, like, do you know the kind of this thing? But again, I've always been that person that I know that my value never diminishes because I am constantly upskilling to keep up with the pace of the world. So even if I knew then that this thing, in terms of, I will have to hustle in the entrepreneurial space to make my own money, but I knew that the value I add could command my entire 1 year salary in one day. my entire 1 year's salary, I could command it in one day in another space. And not I could, I have, in terms of consultancy and all that. So again, I'm saying it that I could do that because I knew the skills I brought to the table was relevant in any global space. Then I said, will I work in a government space right now? I will, but it is not out of, it is safe. It has to be out of, oh, I want to contribute back. Because if it is about the money, like, just makes sense. Do you understand? It has to be from a place of, okay, I want to be in that space. It is not because I am feeling safe in that space. So if you know that you are currently stuck or your stagnancy is because of work safety in quotes, please, here is what I need you to do for me. First, go and start with WFS at the Skilled for Work Academy. That's Workplace Fundamental Skills Program. That is one universal program that I put all my experience of working internationally and locally, of hiring staff and knowing what staff I need, and also knowing what was demanded of me in the global workspace, then merging it together to create a curriculum that did not exist and say, this is what you need to upskill and be relevant in any global workforce. Because I always say, do you, if the alumni is in this room of WFS, do you know how much confidence, you knowing that you know that anything they will ask me in that space, I know it. There's no bigger flex. I always tell people there's no bigger flex. Like, I would walk into like, I'm that person that I saw my friend to, I escorted my friend, in, let me put it that way, to a speaking engagement. And they said, okay, impromptu, 7 businesses stand up, pitch your business, impromptu. All I had to think in my head was, how do I apply the self-selling model? I just arranged it in my head and I pitched my business. I was one of the winners of that grant. I did not prepare jack, but I always say it like, what I have already is enough for me to be able to stand up and utilize it. And it is not just me. Because if you've checked our listing today, Adegoke, we posted this testimony, I think, today. That's the same thing is said. When it got selected as one of the only 13 Africans in one particular opportunity, one fellowship, that is how you taught us in WFS to pitch in my email. At my interview, I did not feel like it was an interview. I was just breezing through. It was a conversation. It was not an interview because I was comfortable. Like, you know, when you are speaking from a place of knowing, there is a different flex to it. So I would implore you that if your stagnancy is because you are trying to stay safe in your job, please go and upgrade your skills, your workplace skills, so that you will know that I am in this government work by choice, not by it is the only place I would fit in. Now, the last set of people, as in I've talked about 2 categories of people, which is the people that they have plenty experience and they are believing my work will speak for me. What is my recommendation for those first category of people? You need to analyze. There are 3 things I say you would do to get to the point you need to get to. You need to analyze what you bring to the table, not in terms of job title, but in terms of the value you actually drop for your company. If you are struggling with that, please join the GOP program. The next thing you want to do is take what you have analyzed and use it to look for emerging job titles or emerging career paths that value all those things and use it to craft that is relevant in the global space. Then we use that thing to look at, okay, in such, if this is a kind of job, the kind of career title we then want, let's now build this into an optimized LinkedIn profile session and all that in such a way that we would show up and people will reach out to us with speaking engagement for that thing, with whatever it is we are looking for. People will reach out to us with that thing that we want. That's category 1. Your own, please get out of that space of my work. It will not speak for you. Nobody's going to come to your bedroom to come, even not even your company that wants to send you on this thing. They will use LinkedIn to judge you. Do you know how many applications I've filled, like, since January? It is part of my KPIs as a CEO of this organization this year, 1 per month. 1 per month. And there is none, I repeat, none that has not asked me to put my LinkedIn profile. URL. None. I repeat, it's none. So when I see even founders, like founders of ventures, enterprises, non-profits, and they are telling me, Shebimi, I'm just a social enterprise, I'm a this thing. I say, you're a founder of a social enterprise, of an organization that is seeking partnerships, that is seeking funding, that is seeking investment, and your LinkedIn does not show the value. You are joking, you've not started. That's the first place they check. And people buy people. People don't buy businesses. How do I mean? Like when people are assessing whether they want to work with you or partner with you, they are not assessing your business. They are assessing you as a lead of that business. So all that, my work will speak for me. My product is the next best thing since sliced bread. It will take a while. Though. I have a never seen before product, WFS, right? That I innovated best things in sliced bread. Do you understand? Something that half of the world needs. But why am I still positioning it as a founder on LinkedIn? It is because I know that WFS will not speak for itself. I need to speak for it. So please get out of that. And I say second category of people, I want to work in a safe place. I want to do government. It is because you don't even know what you lack. You are not even certain of the workplace skills that is required in another workspace. So you will now be staying stuck in that place. You will now be playing it safe. Stop playing it safe. Go and upskill. So if you are doing government work, you are doing it by choice, not by stuck or being stuck. Now, the third category of people that I feel like they are stuck in their career or their profession are mostly women. And this category of women are the people that they are doing that career because of how do I put it? Their lifestyle. Meaning, let me give an example. There was somewhere I went to one time and a lady was talking about she's a teacher. And when she and her person got married, they had agreed that she was going to be a teacher. But again, I always say people evolve, people change, priorities change. And she has realized now, because I think one of the agreements was the fact that, okay, if you are doing teaching, you have time for family and everything like that. And they have stayed stuck in that space. So, which I said, the third category of stagnancy I've seen career-wise is as a result of lifestyle of women. Now, I'm going to tread carefully on this third category. It's not a topic I like to discuss, but I've seen women actually come to us with that kind of stuff. So I'm going to treat it openly today. I always say, you are not a tree, you can move. Let's start from there. You can move. Now, you don't have to necessarily move in opposite direction. You can move to step up income. How do I mean? I was going to be a teacher when I married. Why? When I say a teacher, I'd always wanted, it was in year 3, I decided I wanted to teach. When people were looking for bank work, that was not me. I wanted to teach. That is why I went on a PhD program. I wanted to teach. Why? I like the lifestyle, meaning it afforded, I'd seen my lecturers take their children to school, staff school. It was a very flexible kind of work. And I'd always loved the fact that I wanted to be in a space where I could work flexibly and, because of this thing. But as at the time I was making the choice, there was no remote work. There was no online work like what I'm doing now, teaching you, and I'm in the comfort of my room, right? There was no remote work. So for the third category of people, why I say that your stagnancy may be as a result of the decisions you made when things had not evolved. But you're still doing it, meaning I still want to be a teacher, I still want to say, but if you actually analyze it, you will realize that that I'm no longer doing conventional teaching, but I'm still teaching. The main reason why me and you chose that thing, I may be enjoying it more than you, and I'm still enjoying more income than you. So let's say me and you, we chose that thing for family life and say we want to be able to be present because teachers close early, yada, yada, yada. You are a teacher, you are in the classroom, meaning that you will still need to teach between certain hours, right? That is, let's say, the reason me and you chose that thing was for that purpose. Now, think through it. Right now, me, I teach online. I even choose the time I do the Zoom meeting and all those things, right? To a very large extent. What do you think? It means that while you may not be able to go to the secondary school, let's say you have a child in primary school, you are teaching in that school, you may not be able to go to your child that is in secondary school, they are open day because you cannot leave your classroom. Me, I will go. I will go. You know why? Maybe the class I need to teach that day is online. The open day is at 12. Me, I will drive. I will go there. I will do the open day 1 hour. I will get back into my car. I will teach from my car with my laptop and phone. And I will continue open day. Guess what? That means that for the main reason you chose that career path that you are still stuck in, me, I'm even enjoying that benefit more than you, and I have moved. Now, what do I mean by I have moved? I have now looked for how to render that particular career choice that I felt was a good choice as at the time I made it in a way that is remote first. In a way that suits me, that affords me the benefit of that choice, and I then make arrangements around it. So I have not moved away from teaching. I have not forfeited the flexibility that affords me family time. What I have just done is improved or embraced the new world and technology to get all the benefits I need. So if you're that woman, you are listening to me, that your career choice or your career stagnancy is because of what I have just explained, please take a moment to stop and ask, the choice I made, can it be rendered with technology remotely? Can I still achieve the same flexibility lifestyle, yada, yada, yada? The only thing I then need to do is probably then upgrade myself. Take this course here that allows me to work remotely. Of course, our WFS is your number one choice because, again, it is called Remote Workers Program for a reason. That gives you remote worker skills. Then, for instance, if you're a teacher, my advice to you, I was on LinkedIn last week and I saw this particular job advert for this. I've forgotten this thing. In a Nigerian company was offering teachers 500K in a month for teachers that knew how to use the British curriculum, the elite schools, and they will be working from anywhere, the comfort of their own. And I looked at some people in my, people that I know on the streets, and I'm like, I will constantly see this woman with sweat, come back. She's a teacher, but guess what? I can't recommend her to the job. You know why? It is not because she doesn't know how to teach the child. It is because she does not have the skills to render it in the way that can earn her 500K. It is not the technical knowledge. Let's say you're a chemistry teacher. It is not the technical chemistry that she doesn't know. It is the other ones that allows her render it in a premium way. Meaning, first, ability to use all these workplace skills, including digital tools, soft skills, and digital softwares, and all those things. Ability to then have that skills. So please, that category of people, I said, think about how you can render what you currently do in a remote first format or in a digital format so that you can get unstuck from that choice that you need. So those are the 3 recommendations I'll have regarding career stagnancy. Now, if you have questions, let's say your own stagnancy is not as a result of the 3 things I've mentioned. It is not, I'm very experienced, my work will speak for me, but I'm still stuck. It is not, I am playing it safe, let me be doing government work, I don't want to upskill. And it is not as a result of family choices that you have made to choose a career because of the kind of life you want to live, and especially as in for women in this case. If your own stagnancy does not originate from that, and you would like to ask a question, please shoot, go ahead, unmute yourself, and I will be happy to treat your own nature of this thing, just use the raise hand button and I would unmute you. I said to myself today that I want to use 30 minutes to change and maybe another 20 minutes to do questions, so I will not overstretch my time. I want us to stick within 1 hour of this thing. So please, let's have questions. If you have any questions at all around your career, and it may not even be about the topic of today, it may not be about being stuck in a particular place. It may be just generally around career, employability, the global workspace, things like that. Let me take your questions for the next 20 minutes. Okay, I don't see any hands up. Okay, I can see. Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Adirun here,
Hello.
Aja. Please go ahead.
Yes, good
What's your
evening,
question?
and thank you once again. I tried to type in some of the things you were saying on that
Okay.
WhatsApp page of Global Remote, so that in case somebody wants to look at it. But the main reason, people like us, it appears it was just norm. It appeared to us like my dad worked in civil service for this number of years. They talk about retirement. They even pray that government will serve you for longer years than you serve government. So you just didn't see this as rot or being stagnated until recently. Maybe, oh, was that what happened? Not, you didn't feel along the way that was just. I settled in this work, I'm putting in my best. And you didn't even think you should sell yourself, reposition, prepackage, announce. You didn't even think so. So it is this kind of things that I say, oh, you mean I could have, in fact, you thought, what are you looking for? Face, progress and be very committed and be your best here. Let people know that you're a well-trained person, you offered your best in the circumstances, and they benefited from your expertise. If there is opportunity in service training, you do it. If not, what did they employ you for training? They employed you for work, my friend. Don't agitate unnecessarily because you didn't get a chance to go and be trained. If they're able to give you, thank them. If not, look at your letter of appointment. Did it say they have to send you somewhere else? And if you didn't go somewhere else, you still don't even feel bad. Maybe it's this kind of, well, okay, even with what you have, you could have been a lot better. Oh, you mean it? So I don't know that category, what to now tell others, not because you want to chase them away from government, because government too must have people to work on, how to reposition better. That even if you're working in government, what else could you do? Or should you specify a number of years to do that government? Or as you are doing that government, should you do this? Because until we have this kind of exposure now, I don't even think we would have felt, we are not feeling bad. We are not thinking we lost something until now. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much. I totally understand you. I always say when you're in a safe bubble, you would not know until you see something else and you're like, oh mine, hasn't, until you see. And I always say our parents didn't know any better. So they advised someone what they thought was best at the time. Meaning, go to school, get a government job, serve 35 years, retire, and be collecting pensions and all that. Nobody ever built wealth in that manner. I always say, nobody built wealth going to do 35 years service and this thing. Do you understand? Nobody built wealth. But one thing you must also realize is, again, like they say, it is safe, right? And, it's just safe. Let me put it that way. But here is a question. As at the time that was obtainable, we didn't have this world. We didn't have using the same experience. It did not exist. So the question I always ask is, if what we have now existed during the time of our parents, would their advice have been the same thing? Most likely not. They gave advice based on what was available at the time. At the time, you could not work and say, I'm working remotely. At the time, there were no digital skills, it didn't exist. So you cannot be saying, I'm doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs, or 10. Do you understand? It was, you go to one and you do it and come back, because your time had to be exchanged. Your physical presence had to be exchanged for income. But guess what? It's changed. So I always say the most constant thing in life is change. So the challenge I now have is how people now refuse to change with what has changed already. It now means that, sometimes people in that space, when you want to do something that is out of what they know, they feel like you are exhibiting lack of contentment. That's how they feel, like you're exhibiting lack of contentment, which is not. Let me give an example. Because I have always been impact oriented, I wanted to teach because I wanted to reach people. Then I calculated year 1, as in first year. I said, how many people are in my classroom? Maybe 150 people. Do you understand? I said, how many lives have I touched in a whole 1 year now? I calculated it. I said, me, that I have personal ambitions. I'm going to, touch the lives of millions of people in my life. It is not. Then I calculated. I said, it is not through this classroom walls. A lot of people then thought they were just too ambitious. That's the word. Like, how can you want to touch yada number of lights? Do you understand? As an educator, just like, as in, it's not, they don't even tell you are not Messiah, you're not God, and all those things. But again, that's why I said, for me, I'm a very critical and deep thinker. And I said to myself that, what if I could do the same thing, only in a different manner? And the satisfaction of being able to then reach an increased number of people was enough in terms of, as in, fulfillment. So for people that I feel like they are at that stage, that they're even maybe like just a few years from retiring, and I always, because I've had quite a number of them come on my GOP, they'll say, oh, I'm retiring the next 2 years, I'm doing, do you understand? How do I then, based on what I now know, and what do I do with this? One of the first things I always recommend to them is you want to build a personal brand that positions you as a consultant. Fast. I said because the regular consultants used to be consultants in the days of our father, knowledgeable, not experienced people that could research stuff, gather it together, and put it in a spiral bind. Unfortunately, people have wised up. Now, when people want to hire a consultant, they want to hire a consultant that is experienced, not someone that can gather people together. Because why? ChatGPT can gather you research now in a fraction of a second. It will give you all the research you want to gather. So what now makes me want to hire a consultant if I have ChatGPT? It is probably because I then need real world on-site experience that ChatGPT may not be able to give me that angle. And the people that have that kind of experience that ChatGPT will not have angle on are the people that have that 30 years kind of stuff. So I say, we then need to bring you out to be that person that what they can package in terms of all the ferocity, the frivolities, they cannot match you when it comes to the depths of your experience regarding that. And that is what we would then push out. And that is what we do on GOP for this category of people. I say, we have to build your portfolio to be that the people that are actually looking for depths see you as the only option. So at that way, the last couple of years, you can use it to then drive. You can use it to to build reputation online that can earn you, another decade of earning, maybe. So if you see the likes of Mrs. Ibukun Awushika, she does it so well. She has built that personal brand that she's now sitting on board. She's getting paid for sitting on boards and all that stuff. So you should look at it like from that angle, that look at people that are getting towards the end of their career. They start to build a very solid personal brand online so that in their retirement, even if not for anything, they don't become redundant, because people will now be calling them, come and speak here, come and do this book launch there, come and this thing. Like, you will now be seeing them everywhere because now they have time on their hands and they have a truckload of experience. So that is what I recommend for that kind of a person. Of course, you've done 30 years in service. You need to finish it. Like, it is what it is. You've already given the better part of your life. So the question is then picking up yourself at that quarter to retire to build a personal brand by leveraging that 30 years experience so that when you finally retire, you can continue for a while more to continue to leverage that your career. Do not wait. If you are not conversant with the online space, it's going to take you a while to build a brand. It's going to take you a while to build. You are not like a Gen Z that can easily, just jump on stuff and start. It's going to take you a while. So you want to make sure that your brand has been established, you have solidified it before your actual exit from the destined. And another thing I always tell people on the GOP is we also want to ensure that you have what to speak about when you're writing articles. And one of the fastest things you can speak about is your work. Like, if you are still currently working, you can speak about your work a lot. So I want to ensure that you have at least built a brand with your current work, and then you can leverage on that. So that would be my advice. Please, 30 years, you already put it in, no going back. You are going to finish it. Do you understand? So, and that is what I also did with my PhD. I had realized by 2019, 2018, that this was on the way for me. I'd realized, but I'm a finisher. But what I did was in parallel for the next 2 years that I was going to complete a PhD and do my write-up and everything. I started building what I really wanted to do in parallel, meaning I started building Nigeria Africa in 2020 in parallel. So by the time I finally defended that PhD, I'd already built a brand. I decided to build in parallel. So there was no gap in my career, kind of, because I decided to build it in parallel. So that's what I would advise you to do. I see someone's question says, how can a medical laboratory scientist work remotely in Nigeria? Please take notes. I always say that if you've ever attended any of my sessions, I always say there are exceptions to this rule. It's like someone that says, I want to work remotely as a cashier in a bank. It is impossible. That is the same way that a doctor will say, I want to work remotely on birthing a child, on maybe I'm a gynae and I want to work remotely. Do you understand? So I always say, please take note. You may not be able to apply your doctoral skills in like directly the way you currently offer it. You cannot be offering your medical laboratory like analysis of samples in proxy. You can't offer it in proxy. You have to be there, take samples, analyze it and all that. However, there is what you can then do with the medical laboratory experience that you may be able to offer remotely. An example would be being a health program manager or a health project manager, meaning whenever you say health program manager or health program manager, there are people that already have experience in the health sector, but they now become project managers on a health program or an initiative. That is what I have seen. There is a client of mine, what's his name, Andrew. That is what he did. He said he didn't just like bedside medicine, like he didn't like it. So he moved into becoming a health project manager. So he currently manages about 9 states in Nigeria. working with this NGO on is it leprosy and all that. So it manages, but they cannot give that job to someone that is not a doctor. You know why? Because he needs to understand how to manage a product from an health point of angle. So what he did was he pivoted into using his health experience to become a program manager in the health sector. So I always say, if you are not keen on the medical laboratory analysis aspect of it, you can use your health experience to pivot into something that has to do with program management in the health sector, project management in the health sector. And for you to do that, you need to probably then go and take a program around project management and all. And of course, we have that at the Skill for Work Academy, so you can get there. So please note, I always put the caveat whenever I say this, not all professions can be rendered in proxy, at least not yet. Okay, not all professions can be rendered in proxy. I mean, when I say not all profession in the manner you want to do it. Because as a medical, you can pivot with that same experience in the manner you want to do it. You want to do analysis, you can't do it in proxy. You need to be able to collect samples and do it at the physical laboratory. Yeah, but guess what? If you are, for instance, a chemistry teacher or something like that, there is this thing now. There's someone I met at the EdTech Foundation that they now do science experiments using virtual reality, like in proxy, like the teacher is not even there, that kind of stuff, and they are doing experiment. Do you understand? But that is for the sake of education, not medicine. Okay, so please, now next question, I think that'll be our last question for tonight. EJ, please go ahead.
Okay, good evening, Doctor.
Good evening.
And good evening, everyone on the program. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, please, you are audible. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, please, you are audible. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for the expose. And I've been your ardent follower since the first day your advert sprang up on my Facebook page. This is about the second or third time I'm joining, on this free call. I want to make some or seek some clarifications. I've been wanting to, upskill in anything tech so I can, learn to earn remotely. I have over 20 years experience in the corporate world. A GRC professional, governance, risk, and compliance. So corporate governance, ethics, risk management, is my thing. But I don't know if it's something I would be able to, position and get a job remotely. I'm open to, even if it's just being on the board of an organization, whether director or whatever, in whatever capacity to, contribute to my bit. And then I've also tried to upskill. I registered for one program in data analysis, but it's so technical that with the stress of work coming back and all that, I'm not able to cope. I'm looking at also upskilling on digital marketing, so I can do media buying if that is possible. So there's so much I've tried to look at, all in a bit to learn something remotely so that I can just free myself from this 9-to-5 grind. I don't know in what capacity or what advice you would have for me.
Thank you. And your case is not peculiar. You know why I say your case is not peculiar? I've seen people come to our academy and they said, now I realize what I needed was not those data analysis, digital marketing, cybersecurity, and all that. Actually, when you get on WFS, you know why I say so? For someone that has 20 years of experience, you may not need to change your career paths. You may not just need to do it. So, because there is a uprise of upskill. But people are not exactly saying what should you upskill in based on your years of experience, your interests, and your personality. 3 things: your years of experience, your interests, and your personality. When people come to the academy, the first module we let them get on is called the clarity module, where they do this exercise that I had explained a part of it tonight, and then they take a personality test. Then one of the things, there's a workshop coming up on Saturday. It's also a clarity workshop. There's this thing, we give them this template. They call it a transitioning template, where people feel their interest, they align it with their personality and everything, and they can see a pattern. Now, when you were talking about the governance, I was expecting, when you say about upskilling, I was expecting something in that line. And I'm listening to you say you did data analysis, and in my head, I'm quickly trying to find a correlation between the governance and data analysis. Then you went ahead and said I did digital marketing, and I'm trying to also find, like, how did I enter this equation? Again, upskilling in the wrong things, it's like you still did not upskill. So many people upskill in an attempt to either increase their income or get better at the current job they do. In your case, you want to, transition because of the flexibility that comes with the remote work and, that kind of fantastic, valid reason. In fact, 49% of the people, did I say 49? Over 50% of people that come on, any of our programs, that's their same flexibility of work. That is what they are chasing for this remote work, not even the income. Only 27% say income. Now, I then say, if what you desire is a flexibility, it's not because you hate what you do, I do not see a reason why you can't continue what you do, only that you then migrate it into, like, you are in the first category of people that I talked about. You need to do analysis of the experience that's come with your governance and risk and all that stuff. When we analyze it, we then take it to LinkedIn to go and look for how to merge it with an emerging career title. Who needs this? Who needs this value? When we know, so what you probably need is the GOP for positioning. And of course, because you now want to do remote work, you will need WFS to learn the remote worker skills. So in the entire scheme of things, you may not even need data analysis, you may not need digital marketing. I don't even see you needing it right now. It's like me saying I want to work remotely, or my UN Live job. So you should come and say I should come and learn data analysis. I'm like, nah. I want to find the kind of things that I am already comfortable doing for my years of experience. I don't want to pivot because there's nothing wrong with the kind of experience I know I have. Do you understand? There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. I say, you did not complain about not liking the job. It is how the job is being rendered, as in a 9 to 5 commuting kind of. That is the only complaint. So if you had come and said, if maybe an early career person had come to me to say, I landed in this job, I just had to do it. After 5 years, I realized that, no, that is not how I want to end my life. Like, this is not the career path I want to do. I think I want to do something. That person, I said, okay, let's start trying this emerging career. And even that, we do not do trial and error. I will say, yeah, let's do personality test first. After we do personality test, I will ask you, as what are the kind of things you naturally like? Are you a kind of person that you're extroverted or introverted? I ask you those questions. Then when I say, okay, this kind of thing, that means data analysis, you like to interface with people. Like, all you've done in your life is something that's to do with customer relation, but you're laying data analysis that will keep you at the back. Like, keep you at the back of a laptop. That is not for you. So again, I'm looking at you and I'm like,
can I give some more explanation?
How did yes, please.
Okay. Naturally, I'm an introverted person, so I'm comfortable working alone. Why I delved into digital marketing, again, I couldn't also keep up with that because the demands was too much for me. Was because I was looking at starting an e-com business for myself. So I wanted to know how to run ads, without necessarily giving that out to. That was just my interest on that.
Makes sense. I didn't see it happen to a career.
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah. I said that makes sense now because I didn't see it happening as a career,
Okay.
like as a
Okay.
like
Okay.
I didn't see it
Yes,
happening as a
that
career.
was why, and the whole essence is just to escape, you know, the grind of 9 to 5. I've done it for 20 years. Like you
So you
said,
want to go into
no,
entrepreneurship.
paid job does not give you a comfortable life. It does not. That's the truth. And you know, being a single parent with teenagers, I'm constantly thinking of how to juggle things so that at least I'll be able to pay the bills and all that. So that's why I'm thinking. And like you said, when you go to LinkedIn, you don't readily see remote work for governance, risk, and compliance. So that's why I'm trying to see if there's any
I
other
don't
thing.
think
But
so. That's the
okay.
thing. I don't think so. That's the funny thing. Like, I
Okay.
don't think you may have that assumption, but I don't like like your job is not one of those jobs that needs to be done physically. It's not. When I was talking about I was talking to the medical person. Like, you know, now you can't render medical analysis, you know, but yours is not one of those. Things that
I'll
has
be
to do
glad
with
and
governance
open to all the
policies.
mentorship I can get.
What?
I said I'll be glad and I'm open to all the mentorship I can get if
My
I can.
advice, if you've not already joined GOP, my advice would be for you to get GOP because that's the most structured way I offer support on my like this particular support I'm talking about regarding what you need to do, right? I don't even offer one-on-one support anymore. Like, even people that pay me to me, I don't do it again. Like, that was last year. I stopped. Do you understand? So everybody goes on the GOP program because that way I know that, okay, for the next 6 weeks, I can support tens of people at the same time with my time. Do you understand? Like, any other thing, I do not like. I scrapped all my coaching programs. I just wasn't up for it anymore and all that stuff. So that's what I would advise you. That's like, again, immediately you started speaking, that I said, what I see right now, I don't know if Azizat is in this meeting. You need Azizat's way, meaning go to GOP, get this positioning stuff done for what you already have. So as you start to see those opportunities, you now go and join WFS, meaning get the remote work skills because it is one thing to get things. It is another thing to have the capacity to render it remotely. They are two different things. That's what WFS does. I always say, like one is to upskill on how you execute. One is to upskill on how you position yourself to get the thing you want to do. Do you understand? So there are two different goals that those programs achieve. But I always say, if you know that you're a kind of person that once you start attracting, you can quickly breeze through WFS because people take WFS for different reasons. So when professionals take it as a way of, let me quickly learn how to do remote work, we just grant them access. There's a client of mine that just got like this position in like from the AGM level to like international trade, all those like managing like sub-Saharan African region in whatever it is she was doing. And because she would not have to work with people, like, you know, before she was in Nigeria, seated head office and all that stuff. This is somebody that I worked with on GOP. I done GOP maybe like 2-3 years ago, one-on-one clients, paid millions and all that. I'm just saying, when she knocked, she said, madam, I need your WFS course now. That was like this month. And I said, why? He said, I have now gotten the next. In fact, she came to me for consultancy. I think that is one person that I couldn't say no to this year in terms of she was like, no. Like, this kind of opportunity, it came overnight. Like, it's something that they called her in the morning and she was like, coach, there's absolutely nobody can call on short notice. So let's have a session. Now, why am I saying this? As in her case, she had gotten to that level that she's now having to head sub-Saharan African region. But guess what? We have done all the consulting, we have done all the CV and all this thing, positioning. She, you know, landed the board, landed this thing. But beyond that, she will not need to do the job now. How will you be interacting with your subordinates in Accra in this thing without knowing how to navigate and collaborate remotely? So this is her right now. I'm also on a very crazy, busy job, new title. She's on WFS, not as a program, not as a, let me join 6 weeks. She is going through it herself to learn collaborative work tools. Do you understand? So in that case, it is now like a necessity because of where she has gotten to. You cannot You cannot be managing software and you say you don't know how to, like, where is it even heard?
No.
Do you understand? Where is it heard? So I have seen people get, so there are always one professionals at that level. I say, please, what you would implement on the GOP will work to land you those kind of things. The question is, you don't want to be that person who is at the top, who doesn't know how to work remotely, because they won't teach you. Like, it comes with the territory. They won't teach you. They expect you know. And it's not like they taught it in university. And even your years of experience don't get you ready for that kind of workspace. So again, it is because of this kind of thing that we created WFS that don't let us go and because the way Oyinbos think is that with that level of experience, you work on projects that will demand that you work remotely or collaboratively this thing. So they'd assume like you just know it. And I'm like, we don't know it. We just don't know it because we've never used it and nobody has ever taught us. So we just don't know it. And those are the things that I struggle with when I first joined UN Live then. I always said I struggled because me, I'm a very fast, crazy learner and executioner. I caught up like quickly. I started to learn here, do this, do that, do walkthroughs of this thing, do YouTube. Like I quickly, I was basically learning as I was executing the job. And so it's not funny because sometimes you enter some meetings and you look very, I don't want to use that word, but it's the only thing that will come to my head right now. You look very stupid, as in, like when people just expect that you know this and you don't know it, and you just feel inadequate. Maybe the word should be inadequate. You feel inadequate. That's the word. Like it's not a good place to be. You feel inadequate, and yeah. So that'll be my distance to you, like join a guided program, which is the GOP for the first governance thing. And it's exactly what I've explained to you here that as I get to this thing, when I say I explain in terms of how we execute the framework, that's how we execute it. The only difference is instead of me just saying, oh, you need to build this thing, then there is a course that shows you how to build it, meaning do this in paragraph 1, do this in paragraph 2, kind of. So, but it is this is how we will do it. You will work from the back. You take this your title, this your the value. We'll look for what is going to, what it will suit on LinkedIn. Then we start to reposition, because I realize that more than half of the people that have your problem that have joined GOP, the first major problem they have is they don't realize that current governance, whatever their title is not presented that same way in the global space, not understanding how your job title should be presented in the global space. After the time. It is when you know what you should be called in the global space, you can do, I don't see, I don't know, but you didn't sound to me, you sounded like a core professional.
I am,
I don't
and I'm
see,
active on LinkedIn.
yeah, I don't see you, that in that entrepreneurial light. Yeah, so what is pushing you to the entrepreneurial style is probably because of flexibility that you desire, and trust me, that would be a big mistake, because it doesn't offer it. It doesn't actually offer that kind of, no, it doesn't offer it. It's a whole lot. Like, it's a whole lot. It's just that some of us are signed up for it because we are very energetic, we are very innovative and creative, and I would be totally bored if I had to do a typical. That is why even on my appointments, like I always take short-term stuff. The one that I know that, okay, as in, and I should be able to express my creativity in doing it. I said, understand, and that is again part of what I teach on GOP: understanding self, doing personality, to thyself be true. To thyself be true, like it's very key. To thyself be true, because there's always something that aligns with who you are, that can hand you the flexibility, the income you desire. It is out there. You just need to first understand that person so that we then find what aligns with that person and we are good.
That's fine. Thank you so much, Doctor. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you in the coming days.
No problem. Thank you very much. I think I said like that'll be our last question for the day. We've exceeded this session time by this thing. So if you have any questions around program, the Global Opportunities Program. You can share right now. You can just go to itrainafrica.com/LinkedIn offer. Or if you're on Instagram, go to the top of my page. You will see Global Opportunities Program is an application-based program. Apply for it. We'll review your current LinkedIn profile. We'll send you a detailed email on the next steps. If you qualify, if you don't qualify for the GOP, we tell you you qualify. If you don't qualify, we'll probably refer you to WFS to get on that program and start from there. Now, if you are in that kind of person that you are staying stuck on your job because you want to remain safe in government work and you are still young, I will advise you, don't do it. Don't do it. Go and upskill. You're young. You can upskill and move. Okay. Aziza, I see your hand up. Let's do it about 2 minutes and round off this meeting. So yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Aderinsola, my so special person. Thank you so much for the impact. And I would like to encourage everyone here to, if you are stuck, I still work in government. Well, funny enough, we do so much in government, but nobody really cares about you. And you have to care about yourself. If you are ready to go, you can only go with Dr. Aderinsola. And by the time you end your program, you'll be so amused at yourself that you did the best thing for yourself. I can't stop thanking her. And recently, I got a collaboration with Africa, Partners for Africa, aside the other one I got. So, you don't know how much of what you want until you get that exposure. And, it's
Oh, I can't hear you anymore, Aziza. I can't hear you anymore. I can't hear you anymore, but I just realized that there are some questions that were in the comment section. So maybe I'll take them. Doc, good evening. Thank you. Please, I have done WFS. I'm currently participating in the ongoing technical program. Is it possible to work remotely as a project manager? Because most of the jobs I see on LinkedIn for project managers are mainly for those residents in the country. Yes, it is. But hello, whenever you transfer into a career, into a new career, I do not even advise you to seek remote job in a new career because the nuances of that job, you will need to learn it in a physical workspace. I always say it. Transition into a new career, but especially if you don't have experience in a proud job, please go and look for a physical work, even if it is for 6 months. I kid you not. You will get grounded in that physical space faster than you will, because I always say remote work, they don't pay you to learn, they pay you to execute. So there's no room for I am new on it. They pay you for execution. That's the thing people don't realize about remote work. They think only about the flexibility of it. In my time at UN Live, you will do double the work of an on-site work, I kid you not. So please don't deceive yourself and be thinking. So at the beginning of your career, whether you're a beginner or you are a transitioner, you are all beginners. Whether you are starting at the beginning, please go and look for a physical space to implement what you have just learned. That would be my advice to you. Now, the second question is, secondly, I have been out of the job market for a long time. I am into trading with my husband and more is stay at home. I have this fear of, will I be able to do this? Please kindly advise. I have seen women that their husband has even said, they will come and tell us that, why are you lying to my this thing? Why are you lying to my wife? She cannot, my wife does not have the mental capacity indirectly to carry this thing. And that is just fear. Chiamaka, my current admin officer, who has worked with me for 4 years and who is probably my most valued staff member, right? When I tell you she did not finish secondary school and she had bigger fears than you when she joined me, I said, take this laptop, touch it and do this. She said she could not be able to do it. Do this. And I called her after 2 weeks. I said, you cannot last with me if you don't learn. You can't last. I said, you can listen, you understand English, you can read and write English. Then we are going to get on this together. And I always use her as an example. She is the one that renders, the only thing right now she is on mat leave. She renders support to you as WFS on technical stuff, websites, this thing. If she can do it, I do not see any limitation for any other person. I don't. That's how we say that there is a reason we built WFS with 9 demographics. I did not just come and say I have online course. I created a curriculum across 3 years. What do you think took me that long? I was testing it on different kinds of people. Will it work? Will they achieve results? And that is why when you mentioned yourself, I referred to Aisha for you. Like, if she can do it, you say you've been out of job for a long time. I'm saying, the only job she had done before then is sales, as in helping somebody to sell in their provision store. Do you understand me? I want you to understand where she was coming from. Never touched a laptop, never done anything on a laptop, and she progressed. So when people always say that is fear speaking, and I have seen a lot of stay-at-home moms come on our programs, and they will say, even if I don't use this thing to work, I'm a better wife to my husband. I'm a better mom to my child. You don't want to be that parent who is naive, who is ignorant, who is making wrong decisions for their child. There is a program we are currently launching at iTrend Africa Foundation, because we have 2 major organizations. There's iTrend Africa Foundation that is starting in August. It's called Career Path Navigator. It's for teenagers 13 to 19. We are getting them into a boot camp where we are, doing a bit of mentorship and a bit of tech integration into how they start their career life and career choices that will be relevant in the next 10 years. Not the kind of ones you are asking them to study that in the next 10 years, there will be jobs in that career, right? That is what we are doing as a boot camp in August. People are already registering their children. Now, imagine me, you want to bring your child to that career, to that CPN, Career Path Navigator. And I say, Mommy, please, for us to do this thing, we're going to do this on a device. We are going to need you to set up Google Family Link. And you're telling me, Doc, you say, what is Google Family Link? And I'm like, where do I start from? That's the question I'm asking. Where do I start from? Because you are a mom who cannot even be the best of moms to their child because you refuse to move. And I have seen it. They will say, I don't want to give my child a phone because they will be get exposed. I said, my sister, what happened to Google Family Link? I will be here talking to you. When my child downloads Spoken, I can see it. The device that is with them, I can lock it from my phone because I have mastered technology to be the kind of mom that still controls what my child gets exposed to. For every technology, there's an antidote of it. The question is, you, the mother, do you know a lot around it? If you're a mom on this call and you're listening to me, if you do it for no other reason, do it to be a digitally savvy mom. You cannot wish away technology. Your children will automatically get exposed to technology. The question is, are you upgrading yourself to match their level? I always say, please, you can't wish it away. You can't wish technology away. So please, if you don't do it for sake of, I want to, become, I have seen women get on WFS, they come and be given the wife he married. This is the wife he married. Like, one can say, Doc, you have saving marriages since 19something. I was just laughing. I said, you don't understand. My husband came back the other day, bought me a laptop, but like, yes, this is the wife I married. Like, you are now contributing intellectually to discussions. You are now, you are abreast, you are forward, you are now, you've come. And I'm sure if you're a woman, men, like, it is them that will carry shoulder pass on top of your success. But they may not, because they don't want to hurt your feelings, they don't even tell you, my wife, you need to upgrade. Because even them, in all fairness to them, they may not know what you need as a way of upgrade. And that is the work we are currently doing now. We are spending a lot of money on awareness ads so that people even know what they need. because WFS didn't used to exist. So right now we are spending, if you check our dashboard on Instagram, we have reached 4-point-something million in the last 1 month, in the last 30 days. We are pumping money into awareness. Like, let's even know, like, you need to even know we exist so that you can know that there is something that you lack that we can offer you. We need to know, we need more people to hear about us, because people like you that need us don't even know what they need. So we are making plenty noise to say, this is what you need. You will not just understand yet. You won't understand yet. Trust me, you need, there's, if I keep saying, if Aisha can do it, another person on my team was doing artisan work, like electrician, and this person came to learn. Came to learn. So whenever people tell me, I say, I've not seen. Like, what is your life situation? I've not seen it. I tested it for 3 years. Like, I made sure I brought your sample type in my testing when I was developing that curriculum, and they all learned. So it is only in your mind. It is only in your mind. Okay? So I've spent an extra time, because whenever it doesn't matter if I want to quickly go, I will take my time to respond to that, because it is mindset issue is deep. You need to overcome it before you learn. There is a reason the first module of my programs is mindsets, because you need to first overcome it to then be open to learning. So my sister, Chiamaka Ibekwe, you can learn. You will learn. And you will use it for different purposes, including even helping your husband. There is a module on that WFS, that's module 5. I taught people how to structure a business with standard operating procedures, how to do inventory. There was a particular person that joined the module 1, she's Ghanaian. She said, Doc, when I got to that module, I went to structure my spouse's business. When I say it is workplace skills, I did not say profession. I mean work. What is work? Entrepreneurship, academic, 9 to 5, freelance, all those things is work. Think about any form of work you want to be able to render. WFS will assist you in having the fundamental skills. You will come back and tell me, like, oh, Doc, why didn't you tell me to attend this? You will come back, as in, trust me, and I'm going to mark your name. Chiamaka, I'm going to mark your name. You come back and tell me. You'll be like, oh, wow, why? The only thing I ever hear is, why did I just find you now? That's the only thing I ever hear on this. So thank you very much. I'm going to allow everyone to be able to unmute themselves. Moina has dropped the links to the programs that we talked about. The Workplace Fundamental Skills Program, WFS, is 107,500 as at today. I keep saying it's a subsidized program from 300K to 100K. Technically, it's 60% subsidized. GOP is like 50% subsidized. That's 268,750. Yeah. That's 250 plus tax. That's GOP. But GOP is application based. You have to apply for it first. How do you apply? Please use the link. If you're on Instagram, at the top of my page, you will see Global Opportunities Program. Click on it. Where it lands you, you will see apply. Like you will see at the top of the page, apply. And you also see every other details around the program. Every detail, any question you want to ask me about that program, it is written on that page. So just take 5 minutes, go through it, and we can then the apply. We'll review this within 72 working hours, and you'll get a reply. If you don't qualify, we'll not pick you. We'll not ask you to pick if you don't qualify for that program. So please take note of it. And on that note, I would say you can all unmute yourself now and say your good nights. Good night and have a wonderful night rest. Bye.
Thank you, Doc. Always. Thank you.
Good night,
Always,
everyone.
always,
God bless us.
always
Thank
very
you.
impactful. Thank you, Doc.
Bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye, everyone.